Hey guys, what's up? Okay, so here we are again. Um, Now this is something that I've been meaning to talk about, but haven't been able to. But now I have the time to talk about it. Yay! Um, Title of the video, you can see what I'm talking about. Um, so pretty much just to go back. If you haven't seen any of my other videos on my ministry channel, basically I've been talking about the season that I've been in, where I have just really been sitting with the Lord. Really, it's been in a season of just a rest and renewal, where He's been pulling out a lot of junk out of me that I've suppressed, that I never dealt with, that I thought I dealt with, but I didn't. Um, and it just brought up a lot of things that feelings that I had, a lot of frustrations and offenses that I've had, not only towards people, but towards God as well. And, yeah. And just a lot of things that I had really agreed with that I didn't know I agreed with, or, yeah, like, pretty much like the title of this video. So basically, I probably should talk about that first. Basically, I had this inclination in my heart that I did not want to be a Christian anymore. And, just looking back at, last few years, and, how things haven't gone the way I had hoped, the way I thought they would, and how I had been treated by certain people around me, and pretty much how it really, in my perception, didn't change a lot in my life. Because basically before I was saved, there were a lot of instances where, again, I was mistreated by a lot of people, and I really didn't have any strong connections or relationships with people who really supported me, or supported what I wanted to do, or supported who I was, or and so then getting saved and kind of being in situations where it was the exact same, where I was surrounded by people who didn't appreciate who I am, who didn't appreciate me, didn't support me, and people also who were judging me based on things that they didn't know or they didn't understand. And it was just a lot of that, and pretty much just a lot of feeling like here I am, I'm a Christian now, and I'm walking with Jesus, and I have to deal with the same stuff I did before I was walking with Jesus, and these people rejected me because of things that they don't know or they don't understand. And one thing that I've learned is that human nature, or pretty much just sin, really, let's call it sin, that we dismiss the things that we don't understand, instead of not so much trying to understand it, but at least just loving the person where they are and understanding if it's something that is destructive or debilitating, then finding a way to help that person without tearing them down or dishonoring them, or cutting them off. Yeah, and yeah, bear with me. I'm just trying to listen to Holy Spirit and see what else I need to talk about. Because it's a lot of stuff. I know I've also just been really just frustrated with just how certain things haven't gone the way I thought, like I said, um, in terms of just like finances and job stuff, and pretty much a lot of areas in my life. And I know that part of it is because I didn't make all the right choices that I should have made, and like, in a sense, like with making these videos, like I look back and I should have been more consistent with this. I talked about in one of the videos I released a few months ago, talked about um, like ashes, and how there's two different types of people, where it's the people who are doing everything that they're supposed to do, but there's just that one thing that's holding them back from seeing breakthrough, and there's those other people who are crying out for that breakthrough, but they're not doing anything about it. And I would say I'm probably a little bit both, because I look back and there are a lot of instances where the Lord called me to do this or go there, and He met me, and there are other instances where, like with this, like with YouTube, where He's called me to do this, maybe it's to put myself out there, and I didn't do it, and I have seen the consequences of that, because that was what He wanted me to do. And so yeah, I'm trying to recall that video, but you'd have to go and watch. Again, it's on my ministry channel, Ashes, and find that. I'll probably link it in the description, as long as the other videos in that channel, just link that if you want to go check that stuff out. I know there's also journal entry, because I pretty much journal, will try my best to journal every single day. If I don't, then I just recap and I catch up and all that, but I do my best to journal every day. And there was something that the Lord did want me to share, so let me find it. I should have just had it opened, but I didn't, because that's me. Whatever. Okay. So, okay. You're exactly where I've wanted you to be. All I ask is that you're honest with me about how you feel. I understand that it's a foreign concept to you, but your freedom relies on this one thing: honesty. As I am honest with you, I expect the same in return, and it's not to punish, ridicule, or discipline you, but to love you and express to you what true relationship looks like. I'm not asking you to live in a place of legalism and to be strong. And I'm not asking you to think that if you don't receive the things you desire, that I don't love you, because that is not true. I'm not willing to bless you with anything that could ultimately destroy you if you don't understand what's all in your heart. Meaning, I'm not willing to give you the desires of your heart if there's junk in your heart that will lead you into destruction once partnered with the what do the heck did oh, I should have written more legibly. Sorry. They're partnered with the what? Oh gosh, I need to write more legibly. I promise I write very well. I have really good handwriting. I just wrote really quickly. Oh gosh. Anyway, that's basically me. He's not going to give me desires in my heart if there's still something in my heart that will lead me to destruction. if I do receive those desires. There we go. Oh gosh, I desire for you to be healthy. And that's exactly what I'll get. You have made mistakes and you've missed out on opportunities, but that doesn't mean these mistakes led you to who you are today. You're where you are in terms of your circumstances to provoke you to seek me and to come to me so I may reveal the unresolved hurt and pain in your heart, and you may be set free in the realization of what's there. I'd rather you not spend time with me in your honesty than seek me out of obligation, knowing that it's right. All I care about is this moment, and you're being honest with yourself, because why did I do this to myself? Be honest with yourself, because you ask yourself so we can really do life together. Oh gosh. And you can have the desires of your heart, and you can see everything you've believed in come into fruition, because I love you and desire you to be whole and healthy, to be expressive and not some forceful shell of a Christian, but someone filled with light, life, vitality, truth, hope, love, and joy. You are loved, DeAndre, and you are so amazing, and you're on a good path. So, finally got through that. Oh gosh. Oh. I think by now I learned how to read my own handwriting. So basically, yeah, and also just going back to just everything that was in my heart. I just grew up in an environment where it was very difficult for me to express how I felt a lot. And there were a lot of people who didn't like what I had to say. So in order to not get in trouble, in order to not be punished, or to not be, ridiculed or despised or whatever, I had to be quiet. And so I had to suppress everything. I couldn't express how I felt. And so with that, with Jesus, you can't do that with Jesus, at least not for very long. At some point, those things have to come up, and you have to deal with it. And so that's basically the season I've been in. And it's been a lot of fire, a lot of purification, a lot of stuff coming up. But it's been really good, and I've witnessed just a lot of freedom. And even just being just more honest with the Lord about how I feel about certain things. I feel like I don't want to look at the live stream. I don't want to worship right now. I don't want... And I felt like just a lot of freedom, a lot of grace to make those choices and not just do it because I have to, or because it's what I'm supposed to do, but it's doing it because I actually I desire to spend time with Jesus, and I want to spend time with Jesus, and we were made with free will for a reason. A lot of people, argue about why did, God put the tree of the knowledge of good and evil in the garden, and when a lot of people say it's about free will, that he gave Adam and Eve the freedom to choose, and that's what love is. Love is choice. Love is a choice. It's not. Excuse me. It's not a feeling. It's not an emotion. It's a choice, and when you love someone, that's a choice. You choose to love them because love is a choice. It's a conviction. It's a covenant. It's a commitment. It's work, and it's dying to yourself, and in being in a relationship with Jesus and being the bride to his bridegroom, you have to die to yourself. You have to come to the realization that you are not your own anymore, that you belong to him. And it's not in a slavery mindset, but it's in the fact that he's restoring us back to who we were created to be. And because he created us in his image, and he knows us way better than we know ourselves. He knows exactly who he's created us to be, and who better than to tell us who you are than the person who created you. And so, yeah, and so now I'm just getting listening to it again. And also, I just found myself also just really just frustrated with just people, and really just lost. Again, came out a lot of just hatred and unforgiveness, and just frustration with people, and not really having the support I felt that I needed in order to move forward. There was a lot of things that the Lord called me to do, that he has called me to do, that he's wanted me to do, and no part of it in this YouTube stuff because I wasn't making videos that like I should have been, but also just a lot of things that I had done and that I did like all the groundwork for. A couple of years ago I was working on a film, and I did a lot of groundwork for it. I wrote the script. God put me in different situations, and connecting with so many different people, where I was able to build like the cast, the crew. I ended up at a ministry that I had never been to, where I met someone who had a cast, and I prayed for him. He took off his cast, threw it in the garbage, invited me to a men's group, and then after that first meeting, he gave me a ticket to a conference that he couldn't use, and there I ended up meeting two people who were connected to someone who I went to church with years prior, and they both had sons who were producers, and I ended up meeting like all these different people who helped me learn about making a film, and the film didn't get made because we didn't have the money. And then years prior to that I was working on a web series, and I was doing all the groundwork for that and learning all I could about copyright and fair use and all of that stuff. And again, there was always just something standing in my way, and then also just thinking about going to school. Like, one of the reasons why I ended up getting saved was because I wanted to go to performing arts school, and I didn't have the money for it, but I knew that God was going to help me get there. And he hasn't opened up the door for that just yet, but at the time I didn't have the support of people who I felt really believed in me, and really believed in the fact that I wanted to go to school, and I wanted to go to school for something that I wanted to study. And and this isn't supposed to be like this. I'm not trying to play like any victim role or saying woe is me, but I'm just, again, this was just stuff that was just in my heart and just being frustrated and feeling like I am kind of in this thing alone, that I'm not really being supported by people around me, and that no one really willing to, no one really wants to, and again, that again, I just think about everything again that go back to just me, maybe not being as disclosed as I probably should be, not really being as transparent as I should be, and maybe that is the case, or who knows what the circumstances really could be, or maybe it just wasn't in time, and that's a possibility too, but at the end of the day, like, I'm still who God says I am, and he's still who he says he is, and he's still good despite those circumstances, and and when I look back and all the times I went out to Los Angeles, and pretty much the past 5 years, Lord's had me back and forth between here in Los Angeles, and more recently in the season to figure out why that was, and one of the reasons was because of sonship, and because he just wanted me to come to the realization that I'm a son, despite what my circumstances look like, despite what's going on around me, that I'm a son. There were a lot of things that happened out there that were beyond my control, and at the end of the day, I was still me. I was still a son. I still belonged to Jesus, and he was still who he said he was. And and all those times I thought that I was supposed to move there, and I was supposed to be established there, and that ended up happening. And another reason was it was all about apostleship, and because a lot of times I was out there, I did a lot of prayer walking, and a lot of just praying over different areas and different locations, and really just kind of pioneering and setting the atmosphere for us to come in and do what we're supposed to do. Now I'm thinking of, after that, like, there are 3 people who I know who have moved out to Los Angeles, and feel like partly it could be because of my obedience and my going out there and doing that, because every time I've gone out, it's always been by faith, and every time when I listened to the Lord, I was taken care of, and I'm still alive. I'm still alive, so obviously did something right. But again, that when you step out and you obey him, no matter what it looks like, he's going to take care of you, and it may not look like what you think it will, but you'll still see his hand in all of it. And so many times I've been taken care of. There are 3 different occasions where I had to get on a plane, and I didn't have the money to get on a plane, and I got the money to get on a plane because he told me to go do a prayer walk in Burbank and then go into a restaurant that was owned by a pastor. And after I ate, because I got to pray with the pastor and told him my story and told him how I had to come back to Dallas, and he paid for my plane ticket. I was on a plane the next day, and then I had to come back again the next year, and Lord told me to go to the airport, and I was at the airport, and I didn't have money to get a ticket, and I gave him a card that had some money on it. Didn't go through. Gave him a card that was in the negative. Went through. 2 hours later, I was on a plane back here in Dallas, and then had to go back and up at Love Field. Went through Southwest. The person who checked me out was a mentor of mine from elementary school who recognized me and decided to bless me and give me one of her buddy passes, and I ended up back in Los Angeles, and there have been times where I was blessed extravagantly, and people want to just really just show up and just be Jesus and be who they were supposed to be, and And so, good things happen when you're obedient to Jesus. And so, I'm definitely grateful and thankful for Jesus, and I'm thankful for those people who blessed me and who, believed in me and believed in what God was doing in me, and, um, you know, because frankly, I never really had a lot of that. Like I do, obviously, but, um, but I've witnessed a lot of ugly stuff in the church too, and the Lord is just really showing me that we need to get back to the principles of the gospel and get back to what it's supposed to be about, and it's just showing us, even, back with the film I was working on, and the subject matter of it, it's about the church and how we don't love each other, and how we're constantly fighting and bickering and trying to figure out who's wrong and who's right, and it all, to me, it goes back to the greatest commandment, how we are not walking out the greatest commandment. It says to love the Lord your God with all of your mind, all your heart, all of your soul, and all of your strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself. And a lot of people are cutting out the as yourself, and we need to get back to that and what that looks like. Again, there's always wisdom in just listening to the Lord and not just doing stuff just because you feel bad for the person, or you doing it because, yeah, I'm just supposed to, but there's still wisdom in that too, But when I think of, loving your neighbor as yourself, how would you love yourself? You want a roof over your head. You want, a job. You want money in your pocket. You want food on your table. You want clothes on your back. You want a way to get to and from where you need to go. Well, so does your neighbor. And I think that if you have the resources to help someone, and you've been blessed abundantly to help someone get to where they need to go, and to help them further advance the kingdom, then why aren't we doing it? Why aren't you doing it? And I feel that every no to God holds all of us back from freedom, including yourself, and it holds the kingdom back from advancing. Again, there's always wisdom in it. There's always wisdom in just knowing, because knowledge is, yes, love your neighbor as yourself, but wisdom is, still listening to the Lord and, being obedient and doing what he asks, and not just doing it because it's right or because we're supposed to. But yeah, well, Lord, I was supposed to share that, so there we go. Yeah, but yeah, it's just been really, really just difficult and frustrating, and then I've noticed that because of all that stuff, that's what led me to continue to struggle with sexual sin and sexual immorality, and end up backsliding and going back to stuff I shouldn't be doing, and talking to people I shouldn't be talking to, and looking at stuff I shouldn't be looking at, and yeah. And it's not because I actually wanted to pursue any of that stuff, but it's because I honestly, truly felt like I was not heard, that I was not seen, that I was not wanted, that I was not respected, that I was just alone in this thing, and that I'm just gonna be stuck where I am, and that's gonna be it, and I cannot sit like this because it does not feel good. Okay. So yeah, but I've gotten a lot of freedom from that, and also the Lord has also set me free from just stuff that had happened to me in the past and also happened in my bloodline that led me into sexual immorality. So, because there's also a lot of generational stuff that he actually revealed to me that was leading me into sexual immorality, and also something I just recently found out led me to really being fully free was the fact there was a part of me that was still desiring to pursue someone who I cannot pursue. And I did not realize that I still had a desire to pursue this guy that I cannot pursue. Because obviously, two dudes don't make a baby. But yeah, but I can say that I am 100% fully set free and fully 100% pure and yeah, and delivered. Gosh, I do not listen, but hey, whatever. Yeah, I've been delivered. So, and it feels good to really be in that place of freedom and not questioning, should I be free, or do I deserve to be free in this capacity, or because there have been instances in the past where I did get to this level of freedom in terms of sexual purity, and end up right back to those questions that came in mind that I did not deserve to be free, or I was either just really bored, or I was really lonely, and it was like, well, I don't have anything else, this is all I have left, and so I might as well just do it, or you know, I'm trying to not be as graphic as I could be, you know, but I don't know, I'm just trying to be as transparent as I can, because I feel like, you know, would help someone else who's going through the same things that I've gone through, and show that there is freedom. It's possible, because with God all things are possible, and also know that you're not alone in this fight, that there are people all over the world who are going through exactly what you're going through, and there are people who have seen freedom, who have seen victory, who have seen clarity, and if they can obtain that, then you can as well. So, and I'm living proof of that, so yay. So yeah, if you liked this video, don't forget to like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Aiden-Jeffrey, as well as on Facebook at the Aiden-Jeffrey. And don't forget that you are made on purpose and for a purpose. And as long as you walk with fiery passion and perfect peace, there is nothing you can't do. There is no mountain that you cannot move. So until next time, love, peace, and hair grease. Bye, guys.